A couple of years ago, England had to say goodbye to one of the country's best strikers, a master of the pitch with his capabilities to score a goal from every position. Today, we bring you the story of Jimmy Greaves. We highlight all the positive achievements, but also tell you about the last years that were marked by some serious health issues. Without a doubt, Greaves was the best pure finisher England has ever produced. No player can compare to him. His effectiveness in front of goal was akin to that of the deadliest predators in the natural world, since he was just concerned with scoring goals. The gratification that resulted from his desire for objectives was only a secondary concern. Gerd Müller and Romário proved to be as skilled in the years that followed, a World Cup winner's medal obtained by an outstanding showing in the championship match. Greaves had a talent for scoring goals with such ease that it took away from the emotional flair of the occasion. His shots would travel as far away from the goalkeeper's reach as possible, from his foot to a portion of the net. He used both feet with such ease and precision that it seemed ridiculous that other elite players lacked such proficiency. Greaves, who was just 5 feet 8 inches tall, scored a remarkable amount of goals with his powerful headers. These head strikes were mostly the product of his incredible anticipation and his ability to find gaps between defenders, but his leaping abilities did play a part. The late football journalist John Moynihan, who saw Tottenham defeat Slovan Bratislava 6-0 in the quarter-final of the former European Cup Winners' Cup in 1963 under the White Hart Lane floodlights, did a superb job of capturing the essence of Greaves. Greaves gave a performance that Moynihan called devastating nonchalance. On another occasion, the eminently styled Geoffrey Green of the Times almost perfectly captured Greaves's genius when he compared his goal-scoring dexterity to the shutting of a Rolls-Royce door. When Greaves joined Chelsea as a youngster, players in the old First Division still took public transit to go to the stadium. Greaves started his football career in East London. He even took a break once for pie, eels and mash for lunch with teammate Peter Braybrook. The manager's pre-match team talk during his 4 years at Stamford Bridge consisted of little more than a happy, all the best. There were no long, flowery motivational speeches, but Greaves scored 124 goals in 157 games. He scored 5 goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who went on to win the title that season, and made a huge impression at the early age of 18. That day, he humiliated England's veteran captain Billy Wright with an antics evocative of Ferenc Puskas's exploits. For Greaves, football came easily. Later, when speaking with his close buddy Brian Moore on television, he said, especially from his long-standing collaboration with Ian St John, a former Liverpool rival. Greaves never thought he would require punditry, but he took great pride in learning the craft, despite having little natural flair for it. His only assets in this new venture were his quick wit and kind disposition. In addition, he was appreciative of the chance to make a respectable livelihood at that point in his life, having experienced financial hardships toward the conclusion of his playing career. Greaves was paid a meagre £17 a week as a rising star at Chelsea, plus an extra £2 for wins and £1 for draws. Over the summer, his pay fell to £7 a week. But in 1961, a £15,000 signing bonus and an annual salary of £7,000 lured him away from West London to Milan. He was given leadership in his last game for Chelsea, and he showed off his great skill by scoring all 4 goals in an exciting 4-3 victory. The trip to Italy turned out to be a regrettable and untimely undertaking. He struggled with the manager's unhelpful demeanour, but he was able to adjust to the game rather well and scored 9 goals in 14 games. This accomplishment was sufficient to get him into the running for a Serie A medal. He made mistakes at the wrong moment. He went back to London a few months later after Spurs paid Milan around £100,000 in compensation. His outstanding exploits for his club and nation soon returned. He scored an incredible goal at Wembley in 1960 against Spain, reminding the other team's captain, the legendary Alfredo Di Stefano. In 1961, he also scored 3 goals in England's 9-3 triumph against Scotland, a side he felt was more talented as a footballer than Alf Ramsey's World Cup winning group. Heartening, it made visible a weakness that the outer world had hitherto overlooked, the Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup, and tallying 220 goals in 321 league games. He initially forged alliances with the formidable Bobby Smith and then with the deft Alan Gilzean. After that, he enjoyed a successful season with 13 goals for West Ham. He shared the field with Geoff Hurst at Upton Park, the day his problems started. If there's anything more noteworthy than his incredible goal-scoring prowess left behind, it's the precedent he created with his deeds thereafter. On March 26, 1958, Greaves, whose ancestors were of Irish heritage, married Irene Barden at the registration office in Romford. Even though he went through the divorce procedure during his drunkenness, the pair never went through with it and got back together after 3 months of being apart. On September 7, 2017, in Danbury, Essex, they renewed their vows, reaffirming their devotion to one another. Collectively, they were parents to 5 children. When Greaves was a player for Tottenham Hotspur, he worked with his brother-in-law to start a packaging company, and they took out a £1,000 bank loan. By the time he finished playing, this business was turning over more than £1 million a year. Greaves owned a travel agency among his many other business endeavours. After suffering a small stroke, Greaves had surgery on an artery in his neck in February 2012. Sadly, his recuperation was cut short when he had a serious stroke in May 2015, leaving him speechless. Upon his admission to critical care, the physicians anticipated a gradual recuperation for him. However, his friend and agent, Terry Baker, reported that he had made a significant recovery and was released from the hospital after a month. Greaves was gradually recuperating from his stroke by February 2016, but he still needed a wheelchair since he had been told he would never be able to walk again. Along with fellow 1966 World Cup squad member Ron Flowers, Greaves was named a member of the Order of the British Empire in the 2021 New Year Honours list in recognition of his achievements to football. They were the final players from England to survive the 1966 tournament and were granted this honour by Queen Elizabeth II. Sadly, Greaves, who was 81 years old, died on September 19, 2021, in his home in Little Baddow. The Premier League match between Tottenham and Chelsea, 2 of the biggest teams he had played for in his playing career, honoured his memory with a minute of applause on the day of his passing. On October 22nd, his funeral was held at Chelmsford Crematorium. As we bring our journey through the remarkable life of Jimmy Greaves to a close, we're reminded of the indelible mark he left on the world of football. His goals, his grace, and his grit have become the stuff of legend. If you've been inspired by the story of this football icon, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with fellow football enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating tales from the beautiful game.